Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Chicken Soup Zero, and today I would like to talk to you about the state of Overwatch in 2020. Overwatch started off as a 6v6 competitive shooter, which each team making their own picks and choices based off of which heroes they were good at and wanted to play. The game was fun. Everybody enjoyed it. It had a pretty good leveling up system, and with frequent updates to the game around holidays, it was simply a fun experience for the game. However, due to recent developments, Overwatch has staggered largely. Many players aren't playing the game, and the players that are on their last legs. How did this great giant fall? How did Overwatch suddenly become one of the least fun games out there? Well, I'd like to talk to you about why today. I would like to talk about the two biggest problems that are killing not only Overwatch, but will kill Overwatch 2. First of all, Overwatch 2 in general. Overwatch does not need a sequel game. Overwatch isn't made for a sequel. Overwatch is supposed to be a game that keeps getting added on and constantly, updated. Different maps, new heroes, new anything, new game mode types, new arcade game modes. And lastly, there should not be a $60 price tag for a campaign. Overwatch 1 was already in itself kind of a meh game, paying $60 for overall not a lot of content, especially if you didn't have internet access. However, they've recently lowered the price, which is a very smart move, but still, it doesn't justify how Overwatch started. Overwatch should not have a $60 campaign. It's just not right for Overwatch. Not to mention, the multiplayer that you're paying for with that $60 game will be the exact same as Overwatch 1. The developers of Overwatch 1 and 2 have both confirmed that Overwatch 1 will be getting the same multiplayer as Overwatch 2. And that is inexcusable. There is no reason that Overwatch 2 should be $60 or even $40. The only price I could see would be reasonable for paying for Overwatch 2 is $30, but we know that is not going to happen. Overwatch 2 has essentially ruined Overwatch 1 in the fact that nobody's going to play it because there will be a new one next year. Overwatch isn't made to be a franchise like COD, and I think Blizzard doesn't really understand that. I'm not pinning this on the Overwatch developers, but still, it's kind of inexcusable. Alright, and next I would like to bring us to our next point. Role queue. Role queue has ruined Overwatch entirely. Role queue should not be in the game. First of all, quick play. Role queue should not be put in Overwatch for quick play. Quick play's entire premise is the fact that you get into a game quick. You have a fun time playing, they're shorter rounds, and then you leave. But that is not the case anymore. If you want to play damage, it takes roughly 6 minutes to wait to play damage. And if you want to play support, it takes roughly 3 minutes to play support. And if you want to play tank, it takes roughly 4 minutes just to get into one game. That is inexcusable. How do you expect Overwatch is going to contend with other AAA studios if this is the kind of shit they're trying to pull? It is not going to work. You can get into a Call of Duty Warzone game in 57 seconds if you have a fast SSD. And Overwatch is inexcusable for the wait times of the game. It is simply not fun, not enjoyable for anybody involved. It's absurd to try to level up in Overwatch in 2020. Because not only does no one really play the game, it takes you so long to get into a match, it's essentially worthless. And now we're going to be talking about the competitive side of the game. Competitive in general. Competitive is destroyed. Role queue is a good idea for competitive. It forces teams to all have basis healers, basis tanks, and at least basis damage. However, It is inexcusable the way they have done the competitive system. For example, Diamond. Diamond used to be 300 competitive points, 300 competitive points, 300 competitive points, and then another 100. You used to get 1,000 competitive points. Only for Diamond, you'd get about 500 for Platinum and 250 for Gold. And that pushed you to get better, because you want a golden gun. The game's competitive is specifically around those golden guns. That's the only thing it really does. Nobody ever goes into competitive expecting to be a pro or go to the Overwatch League. People play competitive because they want golden guns and they want to have fun, working as a team balanced game. That is not the case anymore. Blizzard has split the competitive into 3 separate ranks, which is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Now, instead of getting 1,000 points for Diamond, you're getting 900 points for Diamond if you place Diamond all 3 of your class ranks. And that is just absurd. Role queue has killed the game because nobody wants to play the game. It doesn't feel like Overwatch. Role queue isn't Overwatch. Part of the fun of Overwatch was getting into a game with the most toxic, boring teammates that you've ever met. That was fun. Those characters that you meet, even if they're assholes, they add something to the experience that makes it feel like Overwatch. Overwatch was a breeding ground for toxicity. And personally, I loved that. Overwatch once had thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of players at one point, and you just don't see it anymore. Overwatch is no longer fun, and that's the worst part about it. Overwatch has the making to be a fun game, but due to infrequent updates and just the role queue system in general, it has killed the game. Plus, Overwatch 2's announcement is just on the horizon. There's no release. There's no release date. But there's no reason that this should be happening. It has killed Overwatch entirely. Overwatch is now worthless. The game can be fun at times, but only if you're playing with friends. And games like that aren't fun at all. The game has been ruined. The game is in shambles. The game is not even half of what its former self once was. Now I don't even know. I'd rather play any other game than Overwatch, unless it's with my friends. Overwatch once was the funnest shooter of all time. I've sank way too much time into Overwatch. I've sank 60 hours on my computer, and I've sank 348 hours on my Xbox. I've played about 400 hours of Overwatch. And it's just, you can't do it anymore. Solo queuing is a nightmare. Most of your damages are horrible. Or even your healers. If you're playing anywhere under Platinum, the game, you won't win. No one wins. The game isn't fun. And that's Overwatch's biggest problem. It's not fun. In the words of Reggie, if it's not fun, why bother? Because there's no point. Overwatch has no point to be played right now. And until Overwatch 2 releases, or the role queue system goes away, I probably won't be buying Overwatch 2, or playing Overwatch 1 for that matter, without friends. There's no point in playing solo. It's hell. It's not fun, and nobody enjoys it. Once the role queue system goes away, and we get some proper balancing on heroes, for example, Reaper. Reaper has been cleaning up any competitive game because of his healing factor, and Blizzard hasn't done anything about it. Once Blizzard actually decides to put in time and effort into both Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 equally, maybe we'll finally have a fun game. I'll see y'all later. Peace.